On va accueillir le premier binôme, donc Henri Archard et Élie de Saint-Laurent.
Hello, sir. Thank you for seeing us today.
You have a very busy schedule.
Thank you so much for making
You're welcome.
Oh, welcome. Nice place to be. Anyway, so my name is Henry Archard, head of international sales, and I'm here today with my colleague, assistant manager, Élie de Saint-Laurent.
So I will briefly resume the situation that we know from the document. So the situation out there is miserable. Your population has been hit by a storm, and there are no longer safe potable water in Paul-Louis, the capital. And so we can say that you're going through a humanity crisis. And if you don't want the situation to get worse, like in Asia, we have to act fast and efficiency. We are all agreed that you have a big responsibility on your shoulders, and we're here today to help you to make the right decision on your.
So thank you very much for that, Élie. So basically, you have already taken notice of our project ECLO, and this is what you need to provide to basically have clean water, because as you know, there's no water, as you said, in the St. Louis port. So do you want to go through the magazine quickly, or do you already know what you are specifically looking for?
So we've had a look at our proposal, and I think we know the technical aspects of the ECLO solutions. Just wanted to brief you about the overall situation.
Of course,
yes.
You know, there has been a cyclone which is ongoing, and we have declared a humanitarian crisis where we are working with organizations, global organizations, which are providing us funds to work on with this.
Yeah.
And as you said rightly, that we have to act fast.
Yeah.
Assistant here, he's working closely with all the international organizations and trying to reach out to find a solution whereby we can provide water to the populations in the suburbs.
Yeah.
We want to set up 2 small villages where there'll be ECLO kits to be provided, and we're looking for a one-year solution. As you mentioned, ECLO is something which is directly in line with our requirement. So if you can tell me more about how it can be implemented, the commercial proposal, and how can we go about it.
Perfect. So basically, we have different types of ECLOs,
Yeah.
so for different needs. So if it's for water treatment, restrictly, if it's for disinfecting water, is it for medical use? Is it for all of this? What kind of water, what do you need your water for?
It's pretty much most of the points you've described already. So to be for water treatment and also for medical use, because when a hurricane does happen in a particular country, then you have to assure water supply and also water safety for the people of my country.
Okay, so in that case, I'm going to propose to you the multi-purpose aspect solution here, on this page here. So basically, it resumes everything, all the water purposes you need. So water treatment for medical use, for drinkable use. It could be used for cooking. It could be used for everything. So this is the best project we have on the line at the market at the moment. Is this something that you could potentially be interested in?
Could you tell me more about the large spectrum aspect solution?
The aspect solution, so basically it's like a chlorine tablet that you're going to put in this eco solution here. So as you can see here, this is what it looks like. So it comes with a solar panel, so it's self-efficient. And basically all the water gets cleaned thanks to this chlorine tablet, and it comes out in taps ready to be used.
Right, and we were recommended initially when we had initial research that there is a large spectre skeptic solution. Is that the same? Or?
Yes, it's actually the same.
All right, okay. And how do you propose in terms of the commercial aspect of the proposal?
Sorry.
The commercial aspect of the
commercial.
proposal.
So talking about prices, is that going through to
the prices and the quantities and the implementation time, because we need to act fast on this as we really.
I think we should go through a few questions to know what you need first.
So how many people will be concerned about this project?
What is the estimated?
What is
the entire country? Indeed.
The entire
country.
So the entire country. So how many? That's you could go a few million. So that a few million. That's perfect. So you want to get 2 villages installed. Yes. Where do you want them to be situated in the country? On the coast, in town,
the mountain.
Where do you want them to be situated?
We have identified 2 locations. There are the local hospitals in those regions where we'll be setting it up.
Perfect. Okay. So when do you need this project? So you need to act fast. Do you need it next week? it's ASAP really, isn't it?
Our delivery timelines are 1 week, I think?
We have a very short time indeed. So as soon as possible, we'd say within a week.
Then
of
a week, that's
delivery.
perfect. That we're used to when this sort of problem happens, we get all our company on this same project to make sure it happens fast, because we understand that you have people suffering for this
Right.
this humanity crisis.
But like, since it's going to be a larger order, do you think you'll be able to manufacture on time and provide the guarantees that it's going to be installed on site and with your supervision? 'Cause
Yes,
what we've heard so far is it takes time, 2 to 6 months for such a big order.
we actually have a few of them in stock, so stock-wise we are all right. There'll be no problem with that. I think stock-wise in a week it can be here, and we've got different solutions. We can help you installing them. We have supervisors here that will form and brief your staff.
Okay.
That will help you go on with it.
We need to talk about the budget for the project. We've not mentioned the price. How much is this going to cost and how much quantity?
So there is no unique price on this type of project, because it basically brings in everything. We sold these same projects to Mali a few months ago for the price of 5,500 euros per unit. Of course, depending how many units you purchase from us, we can all agree to a commercial thing. I have here an Excel that's going to resume everything, all our costs, so we can basically see it easily and clearly.
Right, so if we want to go ahead with, like, let's say 150 e-close at the beginning.
150, no problem at all. So 150 for 5,500 euros. This is going to total cost of 82,000 euros. 82,500 euros.
Sorry, can I look at it again?
Sorry, I put 550 on the sheet. Sorry, it comes to 825,000 euros. Sorry about that.
Well, indeed, that's going to be a problem for us, because
Absolutely.
if you can brief them about the budget which we have.
That's way above our budget. So what kind of discounts can you give? Because indeed it's actually more than 50% above our budget, we say.
How much are you able to put on this project?
I think let's start by saying we need 150 hectares, and we need it at the price 30% below what you've offered us. So what can you do about that?
We can offer you things. I know your budget's going to be under this, but we have to come to agreement as soon as possible. So I'm thinking of offering you services like shipment, forming your staff and briefing them. I'm talking about, of course, we can grant you a certain percentage off the price, but I'm afraid we won't be able to go down to 50% off.
See, since it's a humanitarian crisis going on, we have support from the aircrafts
Yes.
from the Air Mauritius, and we'll be providing you free aircraft for the shipment, so that's all covered. What we just need to have is the pricing, the costs which you have under the margins, and make it work below 600,000 euros.
Okay.
So what would be your strategy for that?
I'm thinking of giving you a 15% discount to start with. Is that something we can give to you? If I give you 15% discount,
That's still above our budget.
let's see, let's give you 15% to see how we are on the budget. So it's giving out to 700,000 euros.
That's still way above our budget. Yes.
So you have to try and make it under 600,000 euros, and then we can just try and initiate it from there on.
We are talking about the quality of the ECROS project. So
Mhm.
you're investing in the best quality in the market, and it's patented, so no one can sell these ECRO products from other company.
So in these, I understand
We
the
understand.
product is very, very much patented, and there are all kinds of utility for us.
And
But we are also bound by the amount of money we have so far to spend for
Yes.
this project, and we want to go ahead
Hmm?
with it and like probably sign this within a day.
Okay.
So
If we go down a few percentage on this, are you able to come up a bit in quantities? Would you need more of these? I suppose your country needs as many as it can at the moment. So if we slightly go up in quantities and we go down to percentage, is that something we can meet in the middle?
we can probably think about having a second order once this has been implemented,
Okay.
and then we'll see that how your services are, if you're efficient in delivery timelines and you're doing this project within the required budget.
Hmm.
Then we'll have another round. We'll propose a next round of funding from the development aids, and I think we can we can talk to you more about the next round of order.
Mm.
Yeah, of course, we were created 25 years ago in France,
Right.
and we're 60% presence, for example, in Africa. So we're a company that has lots of corporate values.
Indeed.
We want things to be efficient. We want them to work. We want them to be installed as soon as possible. And of course, relationships with our clients is something that is really important for us.
Indeed.
So I think
appreciate
that having this offer on the table, be able to talk about it, is not something I would be scared of, because I'm sure in due course we'll be able to talk together and come to another arrangement.
For sure. So I think if you agree to meeting our budget requirements and also offering us a solution in a timely manner with the turnkey service,
Yes.
then I think we can consider this order. So you just have to be in line with your commercial strategies if you agree to our requirements.
Mm.
So if we fit this, can I do this for 618,000 euros? I know it's slightly on top of your budget, but that's giving you 25% off. That's, I think, a good cut off.
How much is that? Can you repeat it?
618,000 euros, and 618 and 750 euros. Sorry, to be precise.
All right, this is something which we can discuss internally. I think if you're coming down to this unit, we might have to slightly downsize the requirement of the e-close. Maybe we might go with 140 e-close.
Mm.
So, but the thing is, if we're coming down in prices and you're coming down in quantities, you know, if we stay at the same quantity here, we are ready to stay with 25%.
All right, so John, what do you think?
I think if we can't change in terms of the quantity, because then we'll be losing in retrospect. So let's agree with what you've said now. What will be the unit price, and then we can see what to do on that, either to increase from our part, maybe reduce the quantity, or affect that. So can you tell us the unit price now with the discount you've given?
The unit
So
price.
we can calculate based on that.
Just let me get calculator out. So the unit price would come up to a total of, so we're having 618,750 euros divided by 150 units. You're coming at 4,125 euros per unit, knowing it was 5,050. That's more than 1,000 euros. Discussing. But I'm happy to do this for you. But we have to sit at this number. And I want to show you that we are really involved in this crisis. Is there anything you want to add on? We're scared of, I'm not scared, but it's something horrific that's happened to your country. And we want to give you an extra percentage just to show you that we care as well of what happens around in the world.
Great.
And remember, it's self-sufficient, so you won't need to add another money or anything else for driving to.
So I think if you commit to having 1 week of delivery time and having the turnkey services associated to the product installation, I think we're in line with it. We'll have to look for an additional 20,000, as you mentioned, just slightly above our budget. We'll have to look for an internal funding.
Yeah.
But it seems good to me.
No, I think yes. I think that's quite fair enough. We can just make it a round figure of having 4,000 euros per éclos, and then we
have 4,200 euros, no round figure.
Yes, but I think you can still do some more, and so you have your 150 éclos that will be sold, and ourselves we have our villages equipped with water supply.
Well, I would love to do this, but we're going down. I mean, even if it's making it a round figure, it's we still have a company behind with members of staff to and exchange. I'm very happy. I mean, it's just going. We already have more than 1,000 euros off per éclos. I think it's going down another 25 euros. Not much, but it's just getting.
Okay, because it exceeds our budget, we might have to then reduce the quantity we order for. So maybe we'll do 145 éclos instead of 150.
I thought that your colleague just said that you could come to a crowd
We'll have to
raising
consider
fund.
that is the deal which we cannot sign at the moment.
Yes.
I'll have to look for internal funding for these additional 20,000. As I mentioned, our upper limit is 600,000.
Otherwise, that will take a longer time, except you have some time to... And we don't have that time as well, so...
I can see things like the other crises in the world that happened at this, and they managed to raise millions and millions of euros overnight. So raising 20,000 euros, if you get the word out correctly and the news follows, I think 20,000 euros is something you could raise in a few minutes.
Indeed, I imagine, I understand what you're trying to say, but our country works differently. We are sitting in Mauritius right now here, and our channels are already spread out, whereby we're contacting people who are day and night working for additional fundings. So to close a deal right now on the table, I'll have to look for that kind of commitment from your end as well.
Okay. I will agree to go down to round figure, if we go up to 155 units,
Okay, and can you deliver that in 1 week as
then
well?
we can deliver it in 1 week.
You deliver it in 1 week.
Sorry, the other 5 ones will come through a 2-month period of because you only have 150 in stock at the moment.
So we'll have 150 at the moment.
Yes,
5
and the 5
later.
coming out later. And I
And
mean,
it
these,
all comes under 600,000.
and no, because it wouldn't come down to 600,000. We're 618,000. We're going up 5 units, but coming down to a round figure.
But we'll have to give a separate order for that, because at this stage,
We
what
don't
we
have
can
at
give
the
a
moment.
one purchase order is only maximum limit is 600,000. So we'll give you a one purchase order with a commitment of issuing another order at a later stage.
So a commitment, so we can have
We
this.
can give you a commitment, indeed.
Okay, okay. So if we're having commitments on the table, I mean, we've already gone down 25%. I mean, that's something that that's never done.
I don't know, I understand
I think
that.
25% is alright, even if it's not a round figure. I mean, is this alright with you? Is this something we can get into writing?
No, this is something exactly what I'm telling you right now. We're dealing with the situation right now. And as the situation has been dealt with, we're working with you and we're trying to build a relation. And there are several other private funded projects as well, which will be coming up in the next few months. So I think you will become our long-term partner if you take this deal right now.
What is there some other projects you're willing or doing to do in your country as well in due course? What are there other water pump systems you're wanting to get in, or equipping schools? Are there any other projects we can probably quickly talk about?
There are several projects which are ongoing, but at the moment what our main concern is to deal with this crisis within the budget we have and to equip the communities as better as we can. So
Okay.
we will, as I mentioned to you, we do have an intent to work more, to use this product in the region, but for now the main priority is the cyclone.
Okay. So to show in that case our professionalism, if we can have in writing your commitment of working on projects in the future and creating a proper relationship with you guys, I think, what do you think going down to 1 to 10, meeting your requirements of a round figure? Is this something
We could agree on it.
you can agree on that? Is it something we can have signed?
We
Of
can
course,
have an
the
understanding,
contracts.
we can have a letter of intent where
Yep.
we can issue,
No
we can
problem.
issue that, okay, in the next few years there will be a certain projects whereby we'll be contacting you directly to deal with it.
Okay.
And,
So we're going down. So we're going down to 114 times 150. So we are 615,000 euros. It's slightly on top of budget, but I mean,
Right.
we've gone down so much. I think the 15,000 even is this all right on us?
We can do more than 600,000 euros.
Okay, well let's go for that. Let's go for that. But I want on writing that we have a commitment to work together. I mean, these are valuable and really good articles. I mean, we have never had any complaints with this.
We understand. We understand. Anyway,
yeah.
I think
I think we have to conclude the meeting actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
we'll,
So I'm going to have fax to you in the afternoon our contract for this purchase
right.
and as well a letter of intent.
Right.
Probably we can meet next week some point.
Sure, let's discuss that
I
further.
think we should have an appointment. What about next Tuesday?
Right, next Tuesday. But at the moment, what we're agreeing to that is that you'll be sending 600 for our budget requirement. You'll be sending 150 close by in 1 week's
In
time.
1 week's time, they will be here,
All right,
and
so
I will
we can
deliver
get
them
this.
myself if needed.
Perfect.
great.
That's
Anyway,
great.
Okay, so we'll expect your mail and then we take it from there.
okay.
So we can
Thank
start.
you so much for receiving us today.
Thank
This
you as
time
well.
you're busy, Dangers, and hope everything will be soon. Be nice.
Great, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank
for
you very
coming.
much. Thank you.